Hello, my beautiful soul friends and gorgeous family. Beautiful humans, I love you all so much. I love and respect you all, no matter if you're higher level of development than me, or less, or more, higher, or equal. I love my friends, I love everybody who's close to me, I love people who vibe with me, and I appreciate and love people who don't vibe with me, and I don't vibe with them too much either. So yeah, in this video I want to share just quickly why does veganism make sense? I've made a few YouTube videos on this in the past. Haven't done a long time. Just a quickie. So, where to start? Does it make any sense that there's a law and even you don't want somebody, for example, to hurt or kill or capture or kidnap or exploit or impregnate your pet and then separate any offspring of your pet? Like let's say little baby girls or daughters or sons, and then whip them off. The sons are killed from your lovely beautiful pet that you love, and then the daughters are just kept in a field, even if it's free range. People love to say, oh, free range is beautiful. It's just a field of young girls, no family, no boys, no parents. It's just a whole, like a concentration camp of girls. That's all like the free range beautiful stuff I see in Ireland is. A bunch of girls sheep, a bunch of girl cows, whole lot of no mothers. All the mothers are gone. Sorry, I apologise. Like it's just a bit of a sad feeling, you know. I'm not trying to spread sad vibes, but sometimes it's a million times worse not to recognise cruelty and abuse than to feel sad about it once and take positive corrective action, you know. Like, that's what happens in the dairy industry. That's what happens in the meat industry. Even if you're vegetarian, you're having dairy of any kind, that's what's happening. That's what you're supporting. That's what I am contributing to and empowering and keeping alive and building and feeding and supporting with my money. If I'm even on the looser end, if you give your money to a company that does that, like a big supermarket, even if you're still buying vegan stuff, you are supporting that on the looser, softer, less powerful scale. But to directly full on 100% give company your money who like does this like type of horrific exploitation, you know. It's completely like heartless, you know. I'm not condemning it, but there's no heart and love and integrity or respect involved. Some people say they kill an animal and it's like they do it with respect, but the only time you can kind of do that, if you can do it at all, is if you're like starving in the wild and there's no other options, like some sort of native, you know, who doesn't have other food available. But it's hard to to try and do the best you can under any given circumstance for sure. But like so the premise is like, here's one of the premises, like, who deserves love and respect? Is it only the people like in your bloodline? Is it only people who you can see, touch, smell, hug? Is it only treat people nice who are kind and nice to you? Like your pet gives you a fuzzy, warm, funny feeling. So do other animals you see in your neighborhood going for a walk. But would you ever like go chase after, hurt, kill, tear apart another animal like who's not yours? Of course you wouldn't. So why would you do it then to a different animal in a field somewhere? Here, lovey. See you soon in a minute, okay? So yeah, that's why I said like, who's deserving of love? Is it only your children, like, or your pets who you can see and touch and smell and give you like a nice warm cuddly feeling back, and then you don't give a crap about, like, not you but me, and then I don't give a crap about like the animals like 2 counties away or 1 hour drive away or in a different country who I can't see and don't give me a warm cuddly feeling back. They don't give me like happy feelings with my endorphins and neurotransmitters because they're like looking at me all innocently and happily. They're like so cute. So do you only be kind and respectful to those that are cute? What if some person's ugly? What if some person's disabled? What if a person has the IQ or the intelligence or the physical capabilities of a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and an animal, like a child, a baby, an animal? Do we just like, the hell with them? Like, I'm not feeling angry right now whatsoever. Like, I'm feeling very cool. Like, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling happy. Had a cold shower a while ago. I met my family in a minute. Going to meet them. But like, I'm just saying, like, you have to think about this, my friends. Like, you don't have to, but you can. So I'm here just to help you. And I'm not better than anybody who doesn't know this. Like, I didn't know this at one stage. I used to eat meat like up to the age of 24, like twice a day. I used to be milling it down, you know. But the minute, and I'm not saying you should or anyone else should, but the moment I found out about all the cruelty to animals with factory farming and on the internet, I just quit overnight. And I basically became 99% vegan overnight. But I'm not saying you shouldn't. We all have different journeys, and like, you know, I wasn't born into a vegetarian or vegan family, and you probably weren't either. So I'm just trying to help. No, I'm not trying to fight or judge anyone. Like, we're all doing our best. We all do the best we know, what we can, the way we are, our personality, what we know, our level of maturity, development, and consciousness. You know, I'm at my level of maturity, development, and consciousness. Like, I'm going to be more in a few years, another year, another 6 months, another 2 days. I'm going to be more, because that's the path I'm on. But like, people are like all like definitely higher level of maturity, development, and consciousness than me. Like, all I want is compassion, loving guidance, and support and help from them. You know, like the way when we're younger, when we're a baby, when we're a child, or when we're just another human but less developed. You know, and that's all I want to do, to be of service, be kind, compassionate, respectful to other people. We all make mistakes, and they're experiences. Like, many things aren't even really mistakes, they're just experiences, and we learn, we grow, we fall, we slip, we falter, we get back up again, we go forward, and we learn. So yeah, right to life, right to love, right to respect isn't dependent on how cuddly or cute or attractive or pretty or handsome you are. It's not dependent on looks, not dependent on IQ. If it was dependent on looks, then you could treat people who are ugly. Like, if you can call me ugly if you want. I'm not trying to say anyone's ugly, but you know, in your perception, if someone perceives someone to be ugly, then does that mean you can be mean to them? Of course not. And if someone has if humans are impaired and like they have less mental faculty, does that mean you can just like bully, kill, abuse, rape, exploit them, sell them, just keep them in a cage, keep them in a nice field, separate them from the family, like just kill them even as youngsters? Like, that's what happens to the boys in the dairy industry, because they don't produce milk. But the girls have the blessed ability to live on, only to be impregnated every year until they typically run down, and then they're killed at a younger age because they get so tired from milk production and pregnancy, which is super exhaustive. Any adult female humans will know that like pregnancy and producing milk is exhausting, kind of like. That's what people get after birth or in pregnancy depression, like, you know, because it's so depleting and exhaustive potentially, especially if you have other like health challenges. So yeah, only loving, respect, compassion, only love here, only love, even towards like people don't know. I don't know loads of stuff, so I only want love and compassion for me too, and respect, you know, help, a little helping hand. So I better go. Loads of love. Thanks for watching. I hope this video wasn't offensive. It wasn't meant to be offensive. I'm not trying to be mean or unfriendly to anyone else. And lots of love. And I'm not trying to pressurize you, force you, control you, or manipulate you, or guilt you, or shame you either. Not in the slightest bit. I have things I'm working on. Don't worry. I ain't perfect, and I don't pretend to be. I'm not better or higher than anyone else, and I don't try and pretend or trick myself into thinking I am, because that's a big ego thing, an ego trap, and thankfully I'm aware of that. Thankfully, I don't need to think below or beneath others either. Sure, I'm more or less in terms of maturity, development, and consciousness, for sure. That's just normal and natural. In the same way, there's a colour: yellow, blue, green, black, white, orange, purple, and all the other colours: indigo, lavender, delicious colours, crimson. There's different colours, and that's cool. But that doesn't mean you're better or worse. And I'm not worse or better. Thankfully, I have a healthy self-esteem and confidence, but I don't have arrogance and self-delusion, thinking I'm above or beyond people. Lots of love. I love you all, beautiful people, beautiful souls. Thanks for watching, and I wish you a beautiful day, no matter what your diet. Anyway, I just care for you, and all the best to you. See you again. And yes, please, if anyone wants to collaborate with interviews or collaborations, please connect with me. And if anyone wants to be, if you like me, my videos, my vibe, my presentations, my content, especially my heart, me, and would like to befriend me, and you use like Facebook or Instagram or Telegram or Odyssey, please do befriend me and leave me a little message, like connect personally, say, hi Alan, I saw your video here, love to connect with you, thanks, I like your videos, or just say whatever is on your heart or your mind. Like, even if it's something you don't like, you can give me some critique. I know my videos are in the car, it's not the most nice backdrop, but I just don't have spare time to go out into a forest these days and make a video, you know. If ever I'm in nature, I'm either on my own or usually with my family, but I'm on my own, I'm like running or swimming, so I don't really have, it's all too much to start doing it the way I used to, you know. Times have gone on, my life's changed and developed. Gotta go, love you, thank you so much, have a nice day ever, thank you, you're beautiful, love you all, thank you, you're amazing. So this says peace, love, and seasonal fruit. I just happen to be wearing it. But yeah, so this is part 2 of the topic of like veganism, like why I'm choosing veganism without shaming or judging others. Just some reasons, some rational, ethical, moral, just opinion, you know what I'm saying? Not trying to go around judging anyone, but yeah, let's continue on with the video anyway. So here's some ideas, and I'm just free rolling of like why veganism, for me at least, and why many others as well. Just to put it out there in one video, you know? So this is part 2, so I made some more ethical and sort of common sense and sort of rational things in part 1. And in this video I wanted to, I went out with my family and children, we went to like swings and see. So I had some little bit of thoughts, and I want to share them with you now. And some is treat others like you like to be treated. So yeah, that kind of goes in part 1 a lot. Treat others like the way you like to be treated. If you don't want to be killed, don't kill. If you don't want to be robbed or exploited or captured or kept in a field all your life, or kept in a town all your life, or used as a commodity, or treated or thought of like a thing to be gained from, but at your loss of freedom, your loss of life, your loss of health, your loss of well-being, your loss of nice treatment, your loss of love and care, your loss of being with your family and children, or your parents or your brothers and sisters, then don't do that to others, you know? Just pretty basic, simple philosophy here. It's like universal, and it's all religions. Do unto others like you'd like to have done unto you. So if you don't want your children, family, parents, brothers, sisters taken from you, killed, used, exploited, then don't do that. You know, it's just an idea. You don't have to go along with that, but it's in religion, all religions, and a basic spiritual philosophy for a reason. And I'm just coming from a basic common sense / natural / spiritual philosophy in this video. That's where I come from. You know, I'm not following any one particular religion. So yeah, hi Matt. So yeah, and then there's another thought and idea is if you don't break it if you can't fix it. Don't break it if you can't fix it, or don't destroy life if you can't make life. So like once you take away a life, you can't get it back again. It's like, at least if you rob somebody's house or some money, or like, you can get those materials and money back again. But don't break something you can't make, you know? Like, it's just common sense. Like, it's the severity or the degree of a loss. Like, if you don't want someone to make you bloody and sore or painful, or at least kill you, just consider erring on the side of caution, on the side of peacefulness. Don't risk it doing it to another person, you know what I'm saying? It's not your risk if you do it to another person, but yeah, you get the gist. Err on the side of caution, err on the side of love, err on the safe side that has the love and the peace and the kindness on it. The other side has like the other things which I won't even mention, I won't even get into, you know? It's like pain, hurt, sadness, loss, suffering for so many, not even the one that's killed, but like if your family member is taken from you through an act of killing, murder, or an accident, that's sad for your family. In the same way, it's like, even if one is killed or two is killed in the family, that's sad for the family, you know? It's not just, you don't just affect the one you hurt or take or capture, it's a lot of them. So yeah, err on the side of love and caution and kindness, you know? And then another thought is, what else? Yeah, so, and I touched on this in part 1, like, imagine we think we're maybe better or more evolved or advanced or mature or developed or more in our consciousness than animals, yeah? But like I said in part 1, like, disabled humans or babies or children are all less than the adults as well, but that doesn't mean they have any less right to life, less right to peace, less right to freedom for suffering, less right to be treated, less rights to be treated with dignity, love, care and respect. We all do. So it's not about intelligence, it's not about like looks, it's not even about maturity, development or consciousness, because there's other alienated species who are far more advanced than us, far more. But that, if you think that gives them the right to come along and enslave, impregnate, capture, take our women, our daughters, our youth, kill our boys, you know, treat us with that type of, like, just capture us, purely just use us like a thing so they can gain money, I don't think you'd agree with that. Because if you do, then give them a call now and ask them to come along and hurt, take or kill any of your family members or your brothers and sisters, your pets, your children, your family, because I know you don't agree with that. and it doesn't make sense, and I don't agree with that either. So it's not about like just being more like advanced or, you know, more mature, more developed, either technologically or physically stronger. Just because you're physically stronger and you have power over another, that doesn't mean you should abuse that power. If anything, if you have more power and strength, you should use that as a sense of responsibility to protect and love and care for those who are more vulnerable and more in a state of need, like more vulnerable. Like care for the young, care for the old, care for the less developed, care for the less grown, care for the less conscious. You use power for responsibility, not for exploitation. So that's a beautiful thing with power. But to be honest, I feel it's like part of our consciousness probably. If we aren't as conscious as we could be, then we'll use our power for hurting others instead of protecting and loving others and nurturing others and building and constructing. That's what love is. It's constructive, it's building, it's alkaline, it's just alkaline in a metaphor. It builds, nourishes, it looks after, it cares for, it enriches. It's like a motherly energy. But the fatherly or the masculine energy is more like protective, like don't hurt, like I want to keep my loved ones, my family, my tribe, my people, my children safe. Now I have a very protective energy, I've been told by like a psychic. It actually said to my partner, to be honest. He's very protective, and I know I'm very protective. I'm very protective over everybody. Other humans and animals as well, other people, other children, other people. I care for people and I care for animals and I care for even plants. Some people might say, well, what about like people, vegetarians or vegans? If they eat plants, like what about the plants? And I agree, like there's some arguments to be made for non-veganism too. There's an environmental factor, like what if you eat like locally sourced, grass fed, like, you know, free range, all the girls in the field separated from the families, etc. Or what if they even happen with their families still killing us? It's very sad. In my opinion, like to kill unnecessarily is a somewhat disgusting for me act that's unnecessary, and there's no real positive except for the person who eats it, and a big loss for everybody else, including the family. And it's a big loss that's irreplaceable. But I hear like non-vegan dieters like perspectives. I appreciate hearing from them. There is pros and cons of everything. Like there's a pro and con of cannibalism about humans too. I don't agree with like capturing and killing and eating other humans, which still happens in parts of the world and has happened throughout human history. I get it, but if there's other options, I think it's nicer and erring on the side of caution to not kill another human being and eat them, or an animal. And about plants, like animals and humans are far, 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 far more alike than just like animals or humans and plants. It's very, very, very different biologically speaking in terms of the suffering that we know it causes. Ultimately, I think it'd be the most safest and the most on the side of caution, using the rationale and the points that I've made, to not eat plants either. So that's where eating fruits only, or even breatharian, can come in when we reach that level of physical health and energetical vitality and mental and emotional maturity, or health and well-being, also to be able to gradually switch to the more pranic living, which is aka breatharian. Fruitarian is far easier by a long shot. I'm much more drawn to eating as much fruits, to all fruits as I can, and it's actually when I do that, it's just my consciousness and my emotional, mental and physical health and maturity to stop me from doing that more continuously, because I have some attachments, mental or maybe even emotional, to food, and I have some physical power to gain, so I don't detox as much, and I'm mental, emotional maturity, so I can deal with emotional or physical detox, so I can keep sticking with the fruits. But all in all, I think it's definitely a safer bet and different to eat a plant than an animal. And we could also eat some leaves or nuts and seeds and fruits, and all of which the plant isn't killed. So roots kills the plants. Eating too many leaves or taking all the leaves from a plant won't necessarily kill it, but it will like impair it a great deal, because it will grow back with the power of the roots. But yeah, I'm not trying to be a hypocrite. I don't want to be a hypocrite. I don't feel I'm a hypocrite. I'm giving fair points, just pros and cons Like, for example, going back to what I was saying earlier, like if let's say you eat a vegan diet where you're eating everything, like cooked food, like grains, you're having this, that, and the other, everything. You can be more unhealthy than eating like just pure natural, like simple, like food like our great ancestors would have eaten purely from the land, even if it is like coming from animals. Not that I'd want to do that. Like, I don't want to eat animals. I love animals. They're like my babies, like my children. They're my friends. They're my family. I love them. I have a deep connection with animals. I have a very big, deep connection with nature too, and the plants and humans. I love humans. They're gorgeous. I love them. They're such beautiful creatures. I think humans are a beautiful, innocent, and kind species. Really are. I'll get into why, and I'll get into even explaining why more stuff like war and poverty exists. And that's not because of humans. It's more like because of the reptilians and the old world order and it involves even ETs, who are trying to control and manipulate and suppress the consciousness of the humanity. So, yeah. So, I hope you feel and understand and get my care for humans and plants and animals. And I'm not trying to be mean to anybody. I'm just trying to be fair and kind as possible to everybody. Give everyone a chance, give everyone a chance. Give animals a chance. Give humans a chance. We're all doing our best. We're all doing our best. We try and we learn as we go along. So that's nice. So yeah, the last thing I can think of, which is like what some people don't eat a vegan diet might say, if you eat just like really in your locality, and I learned this from my friend, like that can be more like environmentally friendly than like having things that have been flown in all throughout the world for someone who eats a vegan diet to eat. So it's more like, efficient in terms of fuel and that type of stuff and pollution. But I still don't, like, if that was applied to like human slavery in the locality, each local human slaves and enslave them and just think of them as things, and you don't really fully value and care for their life. Otherwise you'd never kill your mum because you fully value and care for her. So it's the same thing I was trying to be earlier. You can't just have one rule for you and another rule for another thing. It has to all line up and be common sense and apply to everybody. You can't just like pick and choose, like some people say you can't have your cake and eat it, but I'm not sure if that's the most perfect analogy. You can't have one rule for you and another for another person and act like that's logic or rational. It's like, that's like biased, and especially it's not fair if it's biased in your favor. Like, try to be biased against yourself and see how it feels. So again, like, treat it just like you like to be treated. So yeah, that's all I want to say. Have a nice day. Lots of love. Thanks for watching.